Greetings and welcome to Jefficho Films. Today we're going to talk about a 2018 action movie directed by Don Michael Paul, who was like a co-writer on Cyborg, so he's got that. He's also done like sequel movies like Lake Placid and Sniper and Scorpion King and Kindergarten Cop 2, and so this is right in his wheelhouse. So let's review Death Race 4 Beyond Anarchy. This movie starts out telling us that the US economy is bad, unemployment's high, criminals are everywhere, cities are in chaos, and everything's violent. And this private-owned company of Wayland International is like trying to run this penitentiary. But it's not a conventional prison like the other movies. It's just this large, giant landmass that's just blocked off from the rest of the world with over 420,000 criminals in there. So they don't really have any control over what goes on in there. Thus, we have Death Race. The convicts love Death Race, and clearly we still see the iconic Mustang and another Frankenstein driving inside. Which one it is, I've got no clue. How about that missile lock, though? This movie's got Danny Glover, who's taking over the role for friendly pit boss kind of thing, Frederick Koehler, who's returning for like his fourth one as Lists, and then it's got Zach McGowan, who's playing Connor, but he was Ronan in the 100, and I really enjoyed him in that, so main reason I'm watching this. I think the Sidechick Passengers have really gone downhill. I mean, like, what happened to the beautiful Natalie Martinez? We jump to Mexico City often as we see Machete himself, Danny Trejo, and he's kind of like a parts dealer and he bets on a lot of these races. Next we got an outdoor concert with topless women all celebrating Frank's victory in this death race, and the warden's watching and SWAT's moving in, and they just start killing people. I mean, if death race is illegal, I understand if you're gonna go shoot those people, which again, that might be a little harsh, but like, some people are just trying to enjoy the concert. SWAT moves in more and starts killing others, but then they get surrounded, and Frank walks up, gives a head nod to his men, and they just get wasted. And anyone that miraculously survived that firing squad has to deal with the half-naked chainsaw man who just come in and start killing other people. That's a lot of blood and violence. This is clearly rated R.
Send me the best you got, Warden. I'll send them back to you skinned, gutted, and quartered. You may be in charge out there, but this is my city. This is the Sprawl.
Frank gives a message to the warden, and the warden gets shit from his boss later because they want Frank to lose because he's pretty much running that place, and it's chaos. 9 days later, an air vehicle drops off the convicts, and Connor's there with a punk chick, and they get attacked by some people that have like converted police vehicles, and they just start shooting them and fighting them. Connor and the punk chick manage to kick their asses and go on their way. A group of outlaw chicks find him and surround him, but he tells them he's just looking for Baltimore Bob, so they give him a ride. And they take him to the strip club / place where lesbians just go at it. And Frank's hanging out there because that's his place. And a couple guys want to fight Connor once he walks in. They lose too. The mask for Frank kind of got updated as he's literally wearing the Predator's mask. And he tells Connor to watch his back. We find out that Danny Glover is actually Bob, and he asks Connor if he can drive before he tells him about all the problems in there and how Frank's controlling the food and all the supplies. Liz tells him that they're down to like 226,000 people in there, so that's a lot of people that died already. Connor and his newfound friends watch some death matches, which is how you get into Death Race. They ride around on bikes, and if you fall off, you get bludgeoned to death and killed. Gypsy Rose, the punk girl that came in with Connor, is in it, and she wins it. Bartender Chick that Connor made friends with takes him back to her place, and they drink a bottle, and she tells him that she killed her abusive husband, and that's why she's in there. Connor pretty much sabotages himself from having sex with her though. Bob gets Connor a shot at the death pits that night, and Liz calls Machete and lets him place a bet. Connor goes in there, and it's basically capture the keys and start the car, but fight to the death first. Everyone's got armor on except for him. He's got abs. You can't hide that kind of thing. After Connor has respectively defeated everybody, they send out this giant guy with 2 huge weapons. The rain machine starts, and I think Connor wins. Connor takes a shower to wash off all the blood, and Frank's girl shows up naked, throwing herself at him. But he says he doesn't sleep with porn stars. But you know she's a porn star, so clearly you've seen her work. Then he has a drink with Frank and a talk. And Frank's really philosophical, asking him, like, what would you do if you won? Anybody who enters Death Race without, like, this idea of what they would do when they win is gonna lose Death Race. The bike chick gang shows up, and Bexie, their leader, wants to ride shotgun with Connor. He says he'll think about it, and then he goes sees his bartender chick and talks about his past and how he grew up in salvage yards around cars and how his sister died and he felt like he should have been the one that died. And then they kiss. The next day he agrees to letting Bexie ride shotgun, and Bob explains the dangerous areas in Death Race. The whole place is dangerous, Bob, let's be honest. And Frank bangs this whore. I find it funny though that he's just like, don't touch me. Maybe that's why he had her chained up. They're really trying to work a lot of days in here without much going on as Connor hangs with his bartender chick and talks about his 71 vet he had, and finally has some implied sex. And then the next morning, Frank and a whole ton of people show up, and Frank calls him out as Sergeant Gibson and says that he used to do wet work for the CIA and to be like, you didn't think I'd find out that Wayland sent you in there? But he's still gonna let Connor race. Connor's bartender girlfriend Jane hears all this and she's angry at him. Why? Cause he lied and he's not a dangerous criminal who could kill you in your sleep? Gee. The race is about to start and the 11 drivers are in there and everybody gets an intro and a name. But no character development, so it really doesn't matter when they get killed. Connor offers Bexie an out, but she says she wants to ride with him.
Take a walk, Bexie. I got this.
You should. If it's all the same, I'll ride with you.
His girl Jane, the bartender, is forced to be Frank's shotgun girl, which is some good psychological shit from Frank because he's pretty much protecting himself there. And they drive around shooting each other, knocking each other off, but really, like I said, like, nobody was developed. Other than maybe Gypsy, nobody got any development time, so what does it matter? They drive around and we learn that Frank feels the race is fate. Like, whether he wins or loses, it's meant to be. And a lot of drivers run around, you know, doing their little catchphrases right before they die. And Connor tricks a guy out of his truck after he harpooned his vehicle and lights him on fire. Unlike the first movie, the death race takes place over one day, and Connor is so far behind that he actually has to take a dangerous route and jump a bridge with a 250-foot gap. They pass the cop car dude, and Bexie just blows him away with a shotgun, which was pretty entertaining. Connor had to drop his tombstone, which protects his fuel supply from bullets, to make the jump, and he does, and he lands hard. And then they say it's between him and Frank. What happened to Gypsy? Why would they leave that out? They left it out so that Gypsy could come in and take Frank out at some point, after Frank had actually ruptured the fuel supply on Connor, and he was standing there just waiting for Frank to take him out. That's when Gypsy just came in and T-barred him, took him right out of the game. Bob cuts the feed because the entire race is actually being broadcast, even though they don't really have the technology for that in the Sprawl, I'm just saying. Gypsy pulls Frank out and kills him, and says the job's done. She was actually sent in there as a backup in case Connor didn't get the job done. And then the helicopter shows up that's supposed to take her and Connor out of there. But he stays. He actually just puts on Frank's outfit, puts on the mask. Bob's like, you need to be Frank now. And he is. He drives in and he wins the race, and everybody celebrates. His hair is also kind of the same length as Frank, so, they kind of believe it. Can't believe he'd keep the mask on all the time, though. And that's the end. I'm guessing the Sprawl's a little less shitty there now under Connor's rule, but, he could have had a better life outside of there. Honestly, this movie was exactly what I expected. An R-rated run through just this chaos area, and they managed to somehow squeeze death race into it. It wasn't as well structured for death races. I didn't really watch the second and third one. I kind of saw bits and pieces of it, but it wasn't Jason Statham. And the only reason I watched this is because it was like Rowan from the 100. I guess realistically, you can't keep doing the same formula of prison inmates doing a race to entertain the masses. So they had to go a bit beyond and do kind of like this post-apocalypse side of the world where it's complete anarchy and people drive around and kill each other. But I don't know, didn't leave as much story for me. It also didn't give a lot of room for Zach McGowan to show off his acting abilities. He was forced to be a bit one-note in this one. Not that Jason Statham got to be a lot of other notes, but I mean, his backstory and character in the first one was way better. It's definitely a superior movie, which I'm going to have to review it because I love Death Race. In the end, if you're looking for a movie with action and violence and a decent amount of nudity, this movie's for you. It ain't going to be your favorite movie, but you're not going to hate yourself for watching it. Well, as always, thanks for watching.